Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers, platform party of distinguished guests, parents, families, and graduating class. It is my honor to be here today to celebrate on this amazing occasion. It's very exciting to meet the class of 2017 at Columbia International College. I have a couple of stories to share with you, and then I have some points that I'm going to hope that you will take with you on your next journey. And there will be a test at the end, so you have to pay attention. So first of all, for the past 10 years, I have been working very closely with the leadership team at Columbia International and the University of Toronto to build a relationship that has been a tremendous, tremendous success. I counted yesterday almost 900 Columbia International College students who graduated from Columbia currently studying at the University of Toronto. And I am very, very pleased to tell you that 391 of those are at the University of Toronto, Mississauga. This is a testament to the success of these students at working very hard here at Columbia. It is a testament to the hard work of their teachers and counselors in guiding them to be prepared to take on the University of Toronto and all the challenges we present. And it is a testament to their families who invested in their education. I want to take this opportunity to thank Columbia International because the students that have come to University of Toronto from Columbia have turned out to be very, very successful. They graduate at a very fast rate, which is important because we are measured in terms of our success based on whether our students proceed from year 1 to year 2 and graduate in a timely fashion. Not only that, Columbia students are awarded entrance scholarships and continuing scholarships on a regular basis, and many of them graduate with distinction from the University of Toronto. So once again, I would like to thank the school for building this partnership with the University of Toronto. It has proven to be very, very successful for us. So I'm not here to talk about U of T, though. I'm here because I have been someone who has had the pleasure of observing the educational journey and the hard work and the successes of the Columbia International College students who have made their way to University of Toronto and progressed to other post-secondary institutions. I'm honored to have been asked to speak to today's graduates as you begin this incredible journey. So I have 6 things I want to share with you, and they're no particular order, but I do want you to remember them, and there will be a test when you get to U of T. Firstly, you should all be very, very proud of your accomplishments. I know that many of you are going on to further studies at highly regarded universities across Canada and around the world. And you got there with entrance scholarships and very, very early offers. This is a testament of a huge success in your studies here at Columbia. I also know that many of you came to Columbia without a strong working knowledge of English, and you came to Canada without any idea of our rather unique culture. Coming to a new place to study in a different language, in a brand new culture, is a huge achievement. So feel proud of who you are and take pride in the knowledge that you have gained as you take steps towards becoming a global citizen. Now rest assured that there will be many others like you when you get to university or college. There are 141 countries represented by citizenship of the students at University of Toronto, Mississauga alone. 25% of our incoming class this year will be international students, and they're not all coming from Canada, but a large number of them are. So you will face other students just like yourself coming from schools across Canada and around the globe, and know that wherever you choose to study, you will not be alone. Secondly, know that we are very grateful and incredibly fortunate that so many of you are choosing to stay in Canada for further studies. The diversity that you bring to the classroom, your work ethic, your different perspectives, they all add to the conversation that goes on in the classroom. And don't be afraid to be part of that conversation. Everyone will benefit. In fact, you and your fellow classmates will learn as much from each other as you will learn from the instructor in front of the classroom. but don't tell them I said that. Thirdly, transition to post-secondary studies requires some planning and a bit of a different mindset. It's going to be a different place. You'll be developing new friendships, trying out new activities, new foods perhaps, probably developing some new scheduling practices. I hope so. You will find there is less structure, less coordination of your timetable by others. If you are, for example, a humanities student studying English and theater and history or theater or philosophy, you may only have 10 to 15 hours of classes in any one week. But you are going to be expected to do at least 2 hours of extracurricular study, which is unstructured. And it may feel like there's a lot of free time. But the reality is that every hour in the classroom you can anticipate a lot of extra work. And if you're a science student, the structure is completely different again from that of a business student. At the same time, you will be taking on more challenges and responsibilities. And there are risks associated with lack of planning, as your principal just mentioned to you earlier. You will need to be wiser, more thoughtful, and very well organized. I know some of you already are. I know some of you are just about there, but we want to make sure that we give you this little warning. Otherwise, it could be very easy to go through your day, your week, your month, and a whole term, and then suddenly realize that there was actually a lot to do, and it's too late to get it all done. So we do want you to learn to schedule differently. And there are all sorts of devices available to help you with that. I wear a watch that tells me about every meeting I gotta go to. It beeps at me to tell me to breathe when it seems that I'm stressed. We've got a lot of devices that will help guide you. Make sure you use them for those tools as well as for taking photographs. Now that brings me to my fourth point. Know that we are all here, all these university people at the table and those that you're going to meet at university and colleges across the country, we're here to help you. In fact, your success is important to us because, as I said, we are measured based on your success. If you don't graduate, that doesn't look good on us. So pay attention to the fact that we need you to reach out for guidance and support. It's our responsibility to help you succeed, and it is important for you to ask. You don't have to do this alone. You are all capable of great things, but each and every one of you have different strengths, weaknesses, and everyone has moments of needing support. All post-secondary institutions have information on their websites and publications and resources. We have staff and we have student aid there to help you be successful. Find out where you get the help and make sure that you use these services. You've got accepted to post-secondary studies because we know that you can succeed. We don't admit students unless we think you can be successful. So never forget that we're here to help. I remember meeting a student in the rotunda in the place where I work one day, a very young-looking student, and of course, when you come directly from high school, you do look a lot younger than those that are about to graduate. But he was crying, and it's unusual to find a young student by himself crying. And so I walked over to him and I asked him, what's going on? What's the matter? It was early September. And he said, well, and I could immediately tell he had an accent, a Latin accent. I wasn't sure where he was from, but he said, my parents are going to be very, very disappointed in me. I've chosen to study business when I applied to university, but I don't really want to do business. Now, his father was a UN delegate living in New York City, but this young man had traveled all over the world. He was incredibly bright, and he came to U of T with a high scholarship. But he was disappointed in what he was studying after 3 days of classes. So I said to him, so what do you like? What do you think you like? What got you into university? What were your highest marks in? And it was that question, what were your highest marks in? What do you like? And he said, well, I really like physics, and I'm good at math. And I said, well, how much do you like physics? Because I'm a physicist, and I really like somebody who likes physics. And he said, oh, well, I got 97% in physics in high school. And I said, okay, we need to fix this. Come with me. and let's go talk to an advisor about what you need to do. But the first thing he said was, no, I can't. My parents won't like it. They'll be really mad at me. But I thought to myself, based on what his parents were doing and where they were traveling on all over the world, by the way, he turned out to be from Colombia, but born in Colombia, traveled all over the world. And his parents, I knew, would be proud of him as long as he succeeded at University of Toronto. So I said, well, do you want me to phone your parents for you? And he said, no, I think I can do this, I can do this. So I left, and my advisor said, yeah, we were able to get the first-year physics instructor to let him in. We've switched him into his math courses, and he's taking some political science. We've switched everything. And, you know, I sort of forgot about him, which happens when you've got 14,000 students. I forgot about him, but I knew he was in good hands. And about 3 years later, I ran into this young man on campus who stopped me. I didn't recognize him. He wasn't the young boy crying anymore. He was applying to graduate school at University of Toronto to study physics. And I said to him, are you the guy whose parents were going to be so mad at you? And he said, yeah, they really were so happy when they knew I was happy and that I had found what I really wanted to do. So there are going to be times when you need to reach out. And I just want you to know that every one of us have people there to help you. Which brings me to my fifth point, and probably the most important point. I know that you have made many great friends while studying here, and in fact, when I was listening to you singing, it almost brings tears to my eyes. But don't be sad to see them going off in other directions, because the world we live in allows you to stay pretty connected. In fact, with Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, you know where these people are at any time of day or night. You can watch them get married, you can watch them have children, you can watch where they go to their workplace, you can be on LinkedIn with them. You can stay very well connected. At the same time, you will meet many new friends while attending college or university. Invest your time and energy to keep these relationships alive, because in the end, they will be very important to you. And don't forget your family. They will always be there for you. Now, I have a little comment for those of you who are parents and family members here in the crowd, so just bear with me. But as a parent, when your children go off to university, you will find that you can no longer phone us and say, we're not sure whether he's in class. We don't put GPS on them, although it might be nice. We don't know if they're in class. We don't take attendance. And we can't release information about your son or daughter to you on the phone. But I've had 2 boys go off to university, and there are lots of secrets to how you can keep track. The first thing, I know some of my colleagues might say, well, you shouldn't tell them to do this. But the first thing is, I firmly believe that you as parents are our partners in helping your children be successful at university. And so a little bit of tracking of their behavior is a good thing. So you want to make sure that wherever they're living, they're healthy, they're eating, and they're involved in healthy activities. Now, there is a really cool way of monitoring that. You just need to have a joint bank account and watch what's happening in it. Okay? It's important to have joint bank accounts because they might need you to transfer money in. The other thing you can do is you can buy the Campus Value Plan meal plan and watch it get eaten up. All of these things tell you they're eating and they're using their money, and oh, look, they went to the drugstore, I wonder what they needed. We can just check. Now, I know you're going to be texting them. That might irritate them because they got so many other friends texting them, and when they are in classroom, we don't want them to be texting. In fact, we want that airplane mode in classroom. Please, we do not want your devices in the classroom. So you can't text them at 10 in the morning and say, I just want you to go and do this. No, but arrange ahead of time to stay connected with each other. There are lots of ways of doing it, and my experience with my children was a bank account was the best way. So, finally, and this comes perhaps to my most important point, make your mark. This isn't just about studying what you love and doing your best. It's about finding yourself and discovering your place in the world. It's about taking risks and stretching your boundaries to do things you've never tried before. Explore new subjects, join clubs, play a new sport, and as I mentioned, Make new friends. Enlighten yourself about what makes you happy and what wakes up your mind with excitement and curiosity. Know that you can make a difference. So find that place, and it might not be the first place you choose. So don't be nervous right now if you're not sure what your final decision should be, because you may change your mind. So I'm going to give you a little anecdote. As a parent of more than 30 years in post-secondary, and as a physicist, I raised my 2 boys to really do well in math and physics, and I thought that would be a good future. So one of my sons goes off and gets a math degree, which I thought was great and very natural. But he comes home from that math degree, and he sits on the sofa, and he says, I don't like actuarial science at all, and I really find math very boring. Well, my husband and I, were very perturbed. We had no idea what to do with this. So I was less patient than my husband. My husband and him went off to a ball game and came home with the fact that my son actually wanted to follow his passion, and his passion was flying airplanes. I had no idea. We had no idea. It was 5 years past high school before he told us about this. It's a long story, but the bottom line is he's a commercial airline pilot now. And it took a very circuitous route. But physics and math are totally involved in flying. So I don't feel so bad. He went the route that he wanted to go. He is absolutely happy. And as a mother, I've got to tell you, I've flown in a Cessna 172, and I hate it, but I did it because I was proud of him. And no matter what you do, it may not be the first choice that's the right choice. But take it, take steps, seek help, and then find your place. Rest assured that Columbia International College has given you the tools you need to be successful. I know that from my experience with your students at U of T. Go forth with confidence. I will be sure that you will make everyone proud. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and best wishes.